What's up, everybody? It's MtG here, back with another Magic the Gathering deck tech video.
What are you, stupid? That's not me. That's just a wooden wizard man. Get out of here. But I am MtG, and I am bringing you another Magic the Gathering deck tech video today. And today, I am playing the Lightning Aggro Challenger deck for 2019. Now, if you haven't seen anything about the new Challenger decks, do check out my video on my channel about the announcement where I talk about the decks, kind of give you an overview. And I have two other videos on my channel where I have played the Arcane Tempo and the Deadly Discovery decks. So I will put cards for those videos up on this video at some point. So if you see those pop up and you want to watch those, go check them out. I'll also put the links below if you want to watch them. So now, without further ado, let's talk about this deck. Okay, so the Lightning Aggro deck is really built around two cards, and I say built around very loosely. I just mean that they're very strong cards, and we run a playset of those. And that is Runaway Steam-Kin and Goblin Chainwhirler. Now, Runaway Steam-Kin is a fantastic card in Mono Red. It is really the reason Mono Red is so good right now, and it's a 1/1 creature for 2 mana, which seems weak until you read the text. And whenever you cast a red spell, if Runaway Steam-Kin has fewer than 3 +1/+1 counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter on Runaway Steam-Kin. So as soon as you start casting more red spells, you're going to be beefing this up until it becomes a 4/4, and then you can't put any more +1/+1 counters on it, but you can take them off. You can take off 3 +1/+1 counters in order to create 3 red mana, which allows us to cast more red spells, and then we're putting counters back on. And so not only is this a creature that we can make into a 4/4 for 2 mana, it also is a mana producer. We can use this card in order to cast either bigger spells or just keep on casting more spells, and then we put more counters on it and then take them off to cast more spells and such. Though this deck is not built around that mechanic, there are mono red decks right now that's like a spells deck where you wanna have like a electrostatic field on the board where you're dealing a damage every time you cast an instant or sorcery spell, and so you want to have Runaway Steam-Kin producing you mana whenever you cast those spells, and then you're using that to cast more spells, and so you basically just cyclically cast 1 mana red spells and keep on dealing a bunch of damage to your opponent. But this deck is it's a little more well balanced in my opinion, because you do have some bigger creatures like 4 Goblin Chainwhirlers. Goblin Chainwhirler is great. It's a 3 mana 3/3 with first strike, and when it enters the battlefield, deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. So this is just a strong, very strong creature. It's hard to deal with in terms of blocking it, because you're gonna be losing your creatures basically because it has first strike. So it's hard to deal with. It does die to lightning strikes and Wizard's Lightning and Lava Coil, but it's only 3 mana, so it's not like it can't be killed or anything. But it does help us kind of sometimes sweep the board. It helps us remove creatures and planeswalkers of our opponents by dealing that 1 damage when it comes into the battlefield. So this is a very strong creature. It really, really kind of makes this deck... it makes us not lose steam so fast after turn 3 or 4, because we do have this, and it's a nice body to have on the field, especially against other mono red decks that are going to want to put a pressure on. This is a nice blocker. We also have 1 Rekindling Phoenix, which I think is probably one of the best. I don't know, that's a bold statement, but it's probably close to one of the best cards in Standard right now. It's a 4/3 flyer for 4, and whenever it dies, you create a creature token that you sacrifice at the beginning of your upkeep in order to bring Rekindling Phoenix back from the graveyard. Of course, there are ways to remove this. You can deal 3 damage to this and then kill the creature token, or you can Lava Coil it, but it does make it a little bit harder on your opponent to get rid of this. And it's flying, so we usually... it's also harder to block, so we're usually able to get damage in with this creature over and over and over again. And so that, again, is another reason this deck is kind of good. It's kind of better than other mono red decks that cap out around 2 mana or 3 mana, because this gives us a little more staying power on the board. Even though our opponents might have removal for it once, they might not be able to keep on killing it over and over again. So this is very nice. We also have 2 Experimental Frenzies, which again gives us staying power in the late game. When we kind of run out of cards in hand to cast, we play Experimental Frenzy, and then we can look at the top card of our library, and we may play the top card of our library. Of course, we can't play cards from our hand, so we have to trust the top deck that we draw well. But this does give us a nice out later on in the game when we're starting to run out of threats in hand. Other things we have 4 Ghitu Lavarunners and 4 Viashino Pyromancers. These are nice because they're both wizards and allow us to cast Wizard's Lightning for 1 mana, which deals 3 damage to any target. And that's great. That's wonderful. Viashino Pyromancer also deals 2 damage to the opponent when it enters the battlefield, or it can deal damage to a Planeswalker if something is on the board and they're being kind of pesky, like a Teferi, or like even like a Dovin or a Domri or something in the mid game that we want to get rid of. We can do that with Viashino Pyromancer. Usually, though, we're going to be hitting our opponent's face and then using this as just a 2-1 attacker. Of course, it's easy to remove, but you know it deals damage when it comes into the battlefield, so we don't care as much about it as an attacker. This is a 1 mana 1/2 and allows us to cast Wizard's Lightning for 1, but it also becomes a 2/2 with haste if there are 2 or more sorcery cards in the graveyard, or instant or sorcery cards. So later on in the game, or in the mid game, this can be a nice attacker to play for 1 mana and get a 2/2 haste. That's great. That's wonderful. And normally we're going to be having 2 or more instant or sorceries in the graveyard because we have 4 shocks, and 2 lava coils, and 4 lightning strikes, and 4 Wizard's Lightning. So we have a lot of those. All of these are just going to be dealing damage, usually to the opponent, except Lava Coil is good removal, especially against other aggressive decks that have either attackers early on or just blockers that we need to get rid of. We can Lava Coil them and kill them. But most of the time, we're going to be dealing damage to the opponent's face and trying to just put pressure on them all game as fast as possible. We also do have 1 Banefire, which allows us to have just a little bit of versatile damage. If there's a creature that we need to deal with, but it's like 1 health, we can cast this for 2. That's stupid. I would really advise not doing that, but this is usually a way to deal that last bit of damage to the opponent at the end of the game, and sometimes it can get over a counterspell. If we have 6 mana and we cast a Banefire with a 5x, they can't counter it, and so we can just kill them that way. It's really frustrating to lose to a Banefire when you're like, oh, I don't think there's a way. As a control deck, they're like, oh, I don't think they can kill me. And then you're like, just kidding, I have a Banefire and I have 6 mana, so you're dead. So that's a really wonderful end-game mechanic. Also, we have 4 Fanatical Firebrands. I brushed over this earlier. 4 Fanatical Firebrands, 1/1 with haste for 1, and we can sack it to deal damage to any target. We tap and sack it to deal damage to any target. So this is a really nice creature that allows us to have versatile removal, and sometimes we can, if they have a blocker for it, we can just tap, sack it, and deal damage to the opponent without having to ever attack with it. So that's really nice. But again, on turn 1, if we have a Fanatical Firebrand, we can start putting the pressure on the opponent immediately. Which is especially nice if we go first. If we go first and we are able to get damage out before they've even played a land or anything, it's just wonderful. It really allows us to start putting pressure on and make our opponent start sweating early on in the game. I think that's about all I have to talk about. I kind of breezed through that. Again, I should say before I'm done talking about the deck that I think this is one of the more competitive decks out of the box for the Challenger decks. So it's not going to be as valuable in terms of card prices in Paper Magic as the Arcane Tempo deck, but I do think this is probably the most competitive just straight out of the box. Of course, there are other ways to do mono red, but this is a decent way. It doesn't make use of Spectacle because this deck was built during Guilds of Ravnica before Ravnica Allegiance came out, and so now most mono red decks are using Skewer the Critics and Light Up the Stage with the Spectacle mechanic. And that's a really good way to do mono red, and so this one misses out on that, which is a bummer because I think that's a really nice mechanic for mono red. But that's not to say that this deck is bad. I think it might be slightly inferior to those like really fine-tuned mono red decks, but this is good. It's very good. Now, without further ado, let's get into some gameplay, guys. Okay, guys, game 1 here against my man Penguin. Yeah, let's talk about this hand. It's not bad. It's not bad. We usually want to have a turn 1 play, and we don't with this. But it's okay because we can get Runaway Steam-Kin down on turn 2, and then either Chainwhirler or Pyromancer down on turn 3, depending on whether we draw another mountain. So this is okay. It's not great. We also are on the draw, so we could draw into something for turn 1. I don't really love having Lava Coil. Well, actually, I take it back. I kind of like having Lava Coil now, because we do have a creature to kill. Okay, so it's looking like Gruul, kind of an aggressive Gruul, actually. Okay, so they're going to be putting the pressure on us pretty fast. So we gotta, okay, that's another Runaway Steam-Kin, which is actually really nice. Yeah, they go for the attack. I don't block, so I'm going to take a bunch of damage really early. So this is a bit of a bummer. Because I definitely want to keep Steam-Kin alive. Like, no question about that. Ayah. Okay, but what we can do is actually, I can play the Pyromancer, and then, yeah, so they may have a shock or a lightning strike to kill the Steam-Kin here, which is a big bummer if they do. So I'll deal damage to the opponent, and then I'm going to attack with Steam-Kin. I want them to go ahead and cast a shock on it to try to kill it before I play Wizard's Lightning, because if I play Wizard's Lightning and they can kill it before the trigger happens to put the counter on it, that's a bummer. But I do want to kill their Pelt Collector. But I also want to deal as much damage to the opponent as I can. But I think I need to play a little bit more conservative and make sure this stays alive. Because if I cast Wizard's Lightning, as I said, if I cast it and then this trigger goes on the stack, they can just kill it. So I think I'll pass the damage and only deal 2 damage. And then end my turn. Okay. Okay. I'm actually... Okay. So if they double attack here, I'm going to block the Harpooner with my Pyromancer. Another Harpooner. So their Pelt Collector is going to go to a 3/3. So I think I kill it. I think I go ahead and kill Pelt Collector. Which now... Oh, no. Are they going to kill Runaway Steam-Kin now? Okay, Colossus. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, okay. If I kill this, I can kill the Pelt Collector. But I still take 5 damage from this guy. Or I could just kill the Harpooner and take 6 damage. Yeah, I think that was the move. I think that was the move. Okay, so I'm gonna go another Runaway Steam-Kin. Oh, but wait 1 second. How can I make this work? I can go. Oh yeah, I can go do this, and then go Chainwhirler, and do double counters on those bad boys. And then I can Lava Coil the ooh. So if I kill... Oh, I Lava Coil you, so I get damage in now. Of course, this is going to get a +1/+1 counter on it because of that. Oh, no, it didn't. Because it got exiled. That's wonderful. I love Lava Coil now. Ha ha ha. But I also have a nice blocker for this homeboy. Even if they do make it stronger this turn, I have a nice blocker. They've got 5 mana. They don't have enough for Carnage Tyrant or anything. Savage Smash. What the heck? That was mean. Can they kill me? If they have a Colossus in hand, I lose. I actually will lose if they have Colossus. Oh, jeez. Okay. That's even if I don't block. Even if I do block, I mean. Wait, no it's not. No, it's not. Because that'll be an 8. Oh, dang it. Because I want to keep this alive, but I can't risk dying to keep this alive. So I think I just have to block. It's a huge bummer. Lovely. Okay, so I guess I go ahead and play Experimental Frenzy. This becomes a 4/4. And now we see what's on top. A mountain. Wonderful. Another mountain. That's bad. Okay, so we attack now. And end our turn. Yay. Hopefully they don't have anything. Penguin? Okay. Oh, they were playing Grund this whole time and just missing out on their mana. Interesting. Okay. So we really need to win this turn. I'm a little scared of what they might have. So there's a shock. I think I attack first. And then I'm going to do this. This is kind of a crazy play, but I'm going to do that. Shock. Yeah, so I resolve that. I do have a Goblin Chainwhirler that I can play. What you got, opponent? So I take him to 2 right now. And then to 1, and then they die because Fanatical Firebrand. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. This is why Experimental Frenzy is so darn good. It's crazy. Because also, I can keep on using... Okay, so Lightning Strike me and then concede. There you have it, folks. That's a win. Opponent was salty. Salty, salty, salty. Okay, guys. Game number 2 here against Fata Morgana? Fata Morgana? Anyway, I think we do... Yeah, we keep this hand, for sure. We have a Lava Runner turn 1, followed by a lovely, just suite of beautiful, beautiful cards here. Alright, Morgana. Okay, sweet. We get a Lava Runner in, so that allows us to play Wizard's Lightning for 1, which is wonderful, as usual. I don't love starting the game with an Experimental Frenzy in hand. And I feel like it happens to me all the time. It's like, oh, I'll just sit with this in hand until turn 5 when I actually want to play it. Okay, so it's starting to look a lot like another mono red deck, maybe? It may be Gruul or something again. I'll just do my 1 damage and hold on to my mana. I'll probably just play Lightning Strike this turn, depending on what they play. Electrostatic Field. Ooh, Electrostatic Field's a big old bummer. But in that case, I will Lightning Strike your face, sir. I want to kill Electrostatic Field. I really do. Problem is, if I play Goblin Chainwhirler, I can't kill the Electrostatic Field. But if I play Wizard's Lightning, I can't play Goblin Chainwhirler. I'm going to attack, see what happens. I kind of doubt they block. Because if he blocks, it allows me to kill their Electrostatic Field. So it's looking like they're playing the version. Okay, so they take the damage, which is fine. And then I play Goblin Chainwhirler. So it looks like they're playing the version of Mono Red that is basically built on just spells. So they're going to be casting as many spells as possible, like 1 mana red spells that draw them a card. Like what is it? What is it? Crash Through, Lightning Strike on Chainwhirler, which is lame. And then Light Up the Stage. Yeah, so that's a bummer. Okay, so I have Wizard's Lightnings, though, ready to go. So he's actually blocking. Nope, not blocking. So he's not blocking, and then I'm going to... Yep. And then I'm going to... Yep. Take him to 6 this turn. So they're in a dangerous spot, but they also have a lot. So he's probably going to shock my Lava Runner to make sure I don't have any damage on the field. And then they risk factor on me. And normally I would take the damage instead of letting them draw, but they still have 4 cards in their hand. And I don't know if I can risk going to 12. So I think I'm going to decline. Okay. An important question here is, so in this situation, it's hard to decide whether to play Experimental Frenzy before I play a land, because if I play Experimental Frenzy and there's another mountain on top, then I'm just screwed if I've already played this mountain. But if I play Experimental Frenzy and there's like a shock or something on top, or a Lava Runner or something, I can't play it because I don't have enough mana. So I think I think it's more likely, I wish I knew the numbers on this. I'm going to go ahead and play the land, and then Experimental Frenzy, and just hope there's not enough. Okay, so that worked out really nicely. Okay, so I don't attack because he just blocks it. There's no reason to. I hope this can stick around and not die. And now basically it's just a matter of top decking well. Hopefully I don't run into a bunch of lands and crap on here, a bunch of mountains that will stop me from just winning. But if say that they're like two like lightning strikes in a row, I just win the game. Okay, so they shock my Lava Runner, which is a bummer because now I can't play Wizard's Lightning for 1. And they skewer the critics on me. So they take me to 11. And they Fanatical Firebrand. And then Lightning Strike me. So they're gonna take me to 6 as well. So we're both on 6. And if I don't win next turn, I pretty much lose, I think. Oh no, God. Why did you what? The one other Experimental Frenzy in my deck is the card on top? Are you freaking kidding me? No way. I lose now. This is horrible. Okay, I guess we play it, and then we literally can't do anything else, and I'm gonna lose. Oh, I'm so mad. I'm so mad. They have 6 mana. They can do any number of things. We have to decline, so we have to let them draw cards, and then they have all the mana in the world to freaking play whatever they want. I am so upset. 1 lightning strike or screw the critics kills me. Yep. Ah, that's so lame. So lame. I am upset. Ladies and gents, I'm upset. Yikes. Okay. Game number 3. I'm still upset from the last one. Let's hope it's not mono red. I hate playing mono red against mono red. It's so hard to do. I go first, play mountain, and I pass the turn. I'm probably going to just shock them at the end of their turn, which is fine. But I also want to see, like, if it's green and they have a Llanowar Elves or something, I probably just kill the Llanowar Elves instead of shocking the face. Okay, so they shock Stomping Ground in to play Ghitu Lavarunner. Interesting. I think I actually killed Ghitu Lavarunner. This is that's weird. I don't know if I've ever seen a Lavarunner in a Gruul deck before. I'll play my Pyromancer, and they're going to wish they hadn't shocked this in. I'm very surprised that they did. Normally, when you see a mountain come down, just a mountain come down on turn 1, you're like, oh, that's mono red. What did they do? What? I'm sorry, what? We go Chainwhirler, that kills their Pyromancer, and we attack for 2, take them to 13. I'm very confused about what this is. I've never seen this. They're playing Gruul lands, but I've only seen mono red creatures so far. Like, yeah, what is this? Skewer the critics. Chainwhirler. That's a shame. It's a real shame. Okay, so we go another Fanatical Firebrand. We will deal 3 damage, so we can take them we can get them down pretty dang low this turn. So we go Pyromancer, deal 2 more damage, they go to 8, and I'm going to pass the turn, because if they have a, oh geez, we're so vulnerable to a, oh, they might have a Goblin Chainwhirler, which would make me so sad. Okay, the Wizard's Lightning, which I don't really care about. I go Wizard's Lightning on them, and they go to 5. Wonderful. Okay, so we deal them 3 damage, so they're going to go to 1 this turn. So we Goblin Chainwhirler. I don't really see any way that they can win right now. It'd be very difficult. It'd be very difficult. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, so they concede. Okay. That was so weird. What? What? They must be splashing green for like Collision Colossus or something. Collision Colossus is... What a weird... I'm sorry, it's just still weird to me what that deck was. But we won. We won. I think it was because they shocked in that land on turn 1. Rip. Okay. Game number 4, boys, against Robin Hood. Robin of the Hood? Okay. Opponent goes first, which is kind of lame. I'm going to keep this hand. Yeah, I'll keep this hand and see what comes down. Okay, so maybe this was mono blue. Mono blue is a big old bummer. Okay, I'm going to pass the turn, see what they do. They opt, and that is fine. See, I'd rather play Shocks after my Runaway Steam-Kin is down, but if they play like a Pteramander, I probably... Well, so they don't have mana to counter a Runaway Steam-Kin next turn, so I can get this down, and that's pretty huge. So I think I can just go ahead and pass the turn. I play a little slow, so we'll go Runaway Steam-Kin, and they can't counter that, which is a bummer for them. We have a number of things we can do. We have so much removal for their stuff. So usually the problem against mono blue is that they run a lot of protection for their creatures. They run Dive Down, they run Spell Pierce, and they run Wizard's Retort. Oh my, they don't have any lands, so we play. Oh, this is a good question. Oh, they don't. Yeah, I just play Goblin Chainwhirler. The Pteramander dies, and they probably concede. To be honest. That's not true. They won't concede yet, but I'm playing this a little bit slower than I normally would, just because I want to save a lot of removal for their creatures. And I needed to get that down because I know that yeah, okay. I know that they run like Essence Capture and like other counter spells for things. I wanted to get my creature down first. So in order to kill my Runaway Steam-Kin, they will have to do... Yeah, they can't. They can't. Okay. So we go attack. They block that, and I shock... Wait, I can do that afterward. We'll just do it now. It's fine. So we shock that. It dies. And we deal them 4 damage. And end the turn. Okay, so now they're at 3 mana. Let's see what they play. Tempest Djinn. This is so sad. I feel so bad for them. Because they're about to just get their whole butt handed to them. I Lava Coil that, and then I win. Oh my gosh, yeah, that is a... Oh, wow. Yeesh. When you miss your land drops with mono blue, it really sucks. That really sucks. Okay. I don't even know how many games I just played. Was that 4? Was that 5? I don't know. I'll have to check later after I watch this video back. That's it, you guys. That is it. You've seen how the deck plays. It's very good. This is a really good deck. It doesn't... I don't know if it's as good as the mono red that's being played right now. I actually kind of like it, though, just because it's a little more consistent. It plays a little more consistent than mono red spells does, because you have to really trust not flooding out with that because you're drawing so many cards. But I think I like this one a little more just because it's consistency. But I think, in terms of the challenger decks, I think this is by far the best out of the box. That's just my opinion. You let me know what you think in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like on it. That really helps me out. Also, commenting on my videos helps me out. First of all, because I love engaging with you as the viewer. I love interacting with you guys. But also, it does help promote my videos a little bit more. So, there's that. Also, if you're new here, I welcome you to my channel. Hello. If you like to see more from me, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you want. I think I'm going to stop talking now. I'll stop epiloguing. And you got just, okay, bye guys, bye.